Well, well, well. It's Monday, and a lot of stories kind of tried to sneak out over the weekend under the radar. But old Mr. Quartering was watching. By the way, if you're watching and you see the red subscribe button below you in red, that means that you're not currently subscribed. I have one Christmas request from you, as if that button is red, you consider subscribing today. I know you might have to create an account, but I would still greatly appreciate it. Now, Cowboy Bebop got canceled after just 3 weeks. 3 weeks after the show was aired. There's a wide variety of reasons we can speculate as to why it was canceled, including its terrible reviews by both professional shills and fans of the show. We could talk about Daniela Pineda talking about how she couldn't possibly do stunts wearing tissue paper, and then getting outed as to, having worn much smaller outfits in previous films while dancing around, or getting dunked on by the beautiful women of the WWE that are doing aerobatics through the air in very spicy outfits. Okay, we could talk about that. We could talk about how the show, wanted to make a statement, and as they say, hold on. One of the characters as trans, all these things. See, I talk about, in the classic get woke, go broke scenario, this is exactly what I'm talking about, my friends. It's worrying about all this other stuff, okay? Calling fans trolls, arguing with the fans, making sure that you take a minute and reimagine characters to different orientations so you can get likes and retweets. Okay, this is all stuff that you focused on. Okay, actors, writers, directors, producers, all these hundreds of people that I'm supposed to feel bad that they lost their job. You chose to focus your time on that. You know what I probably would have focused my time on? Well, that's probably crazy, but writing a good show. They didn't care about that. They took a established IP and were lazy and disrespectful to it. And by the way, shout out to my all-time favorite channel on the internet, Trillium. I watched her video on this, and she brought up an excellent point. I haven't heard anyone else make it, and it was really profound. And she just said it while she was trimming a rose bush, I believe. Companies like Netflix and these other people, they take established IPs and they just think that it's got an established built-in audience. But what it really has is established and built-in critics. That's her words, not mine. And I thought, wow, what a profound thing to say. It's exactly correct. These people think, oh, I'll just make a Masters of the Universe, and all these idiots that like He-Man are just going to tune in because idiots do what idiots do. But that's not actually what happens. People are like, bro, yeah, I grew up with He-Man. Yeah, I know the show was created literally to sell toys for Mattel, but I don't care. You will respect my authority. And that's exactly what fans of Cowboy Bebop were like. They absolutely eviscerated the show. And the real reason it was canceled was quietly revealed over the weekend, and it's hilarious. You see these articles from the New York Post. Fans devastated. Bro, there were no fans. You want to know how I know that? You want to know how I knew that? Because the show lost 59% of its viewership after just 1 week. Let me hit you with some numbers covered on, no disrespect, but nextshark.com. Okay, this wasn't covered on The Hollywood Reporter. Here's some facts for you. On Rotten Tomatoes, the show received a 46% positive rating from critics, while 55% of the general audience members gave it a rating of 3.5 stars or higher. While critics mostly praised the performances of the main cast, the 10-episode series was heavily faulted for being unoriginal and unappealing. Quote, It's a show that works in small bursts, but it never coheres. And there's a depressingly manufactured sense to the whole thing, especially in scenes directly copied from the original. Viewership decline. Now, here's we go. Now, Netflix, which has an industry standard renewal rate of 60% for shows with 2 or more seasons, reportedly decides on the show's renewal based on factors such as production cost, retention rate. Okay, the biggest thing we look at are we getting enough viewership to justify the cost of the series? Totally makes sense, right? An obvious business decision. Cindy Holland, Netflix's former vice president of original content, was quoted back in 2018 saying, obviously you have to make money. We also look at other things. How beloved the fan community is, how social a title is, meaning how much free advertising do they get. There's lots of other things that we look at. You can all see out in the world, but we are deliberate and thoughtful. And there are a lot of things that go in that direction. For Cowboy Bebop, insiders attributed its cancellation to the sharp drop in viewership in the weeks following its highly anticipated debut. In the first 3 days, Cowboy Bebop racked up more than 21.6 million viewing hours before gaining more than 36.9 million hours in the week of November 22nd to 28th, according to Netflix's global top 10 chart. The show suffered a 59% drop on the week, November 29th to December 5th, with only 15 million viewing hours. That's telling you that either people tuned into the first episode and just noped out, which, I mean, who could blame them, right? Completely noped out after one episode. And the facts are that people that did watch it, they weren't talking about it. And if they were talking about it, it wasn't good. Even here, Mustafa Shakir shares reaction. This is from Cowboy Bebop. Maybe the haters were right. We're not haters, bro. Why is it so hard? Netflix, here, $10 million. Look at all the money waste on these shows, okay? I will become your dedicated Netflix adaptation consultant. And I guarantee you, I would do a better job than whoever it is that's doing it right now. You hear me, Netflix? I'll even shut down my YouTube channel. Think about how many people would celebrate that. I'm not gonna shut down my YouTube channel. But hypothetically, the salary was big enough. I mean, why is it so hard? I feel like we get it. Like, right? If you are going for the established audience, then you must respect the original. You must not argue with fans. I would have an absolute blackout on social media from anybody on the show. It would be that simple. Z-lister Daniela Panetta, you want to play one of the most beloved characters in one of the most beloved animes ever? Guess what? You don't get to tweet about it. We don't need you to tweet about it. Everybody already knows what Cowboy Bebop is, and nobody knows who you are, so just shut up. John Cho, and that's not just for Daniela. That's everybody on the show, from the actors down to the writers, down to the janitors. Everybody. You don't get to tweet about the show. You don't get to interact with the fans. You come to work. You do your job. Boom. I would have saved them 500,000 viewers hating them. Easy. And don't act like there aren't people that aren't willing to work under those conditions. The live-action adaptation of Cowboy Bebop releases first 10 episodes in Netflix's last 10. It seems as though it will also be the last. With the streaming service announcing that the anime adaptation wouldn't be returning for season 2, actor Mustafa Shakir, who portrayed Jet Black, commented on the show's cancellation while noting that he was thankful to take role in the father figure of the crew to the Bebop. Shakir had to say the following: "What a cool opportunity, right? I get to play Jet Black. I'll never not be him, so to speak. That's BA to me. Netflix went balls to the wall for us in order to get it done." No, they didn't. They also looked out for us when stuff hit the fan. No, they didn't. They fired you. But at the end of the day, business is business, and this was a big ship that needed a lot of fuel. Maybe the haters and the critics got us. Maybe it wasn't as good as we thought. It wasn't as good as you thought, because look, was there anybody Was there films with more haters than The Last Jedi? Captain Marvel, maybe? Captain Marvel made $1 billion. $1 billion with more haters than probably any movie that's ever been made, other than maybe The Last Jedi. If the film is good, people will see it. The real reason, and think about just how hilarious this is. You're talking about a massive IP in Cowboy Bebop. Everybody knows it. And it was so bad that they abandoned ship. They didn't even think it was worth hanging on to and trying to. They didn't even want to try to save it. They just noped out. That tells you how devastatingly bad it was. You have an IP like that. There are many shows, by the way, that the first seasons are weak. And then after the first season, they get very good. You could look at Trailer Park Boys. What do they have, 15 seasons? The first season was not very good. The last 5 seasons haven't been good either. But seasons like 2 through 7, gold. Letterkenny, the first like seasons 2 through 4, pretty good. Last season's not very good. But I mean, they tried to get back to the original formula in this latest season, but it's too late. But anyway, there are a lot of shows that the first season, isn't really regarded as the best ever, but they stuck it out. They made the changes. They made the show right. Cowboy Bebop was so bad that not only did they bail on it, but it actually may be the end of anime adaptations, as if that's a bad thing. Cowboy Bebop, Netflix's cancellation could doom future anime adaptations. That's how bad it is. That's on Inverse, a leftist website. It was so bad, it ended anime adaptations. Probably good. I don't think anyone else on the planet wants anything they loved as a child reimagined. Hope you enjoyed this video. We'll talk to you again real soon.